Welcome back, Moonies. This is episode 4 of Silver Millennials, a Sailor Moon podcast. If this is your first time joining us, we're so happy you decided to give us a listen and can't wait to hear your feedback. If you're listening to our deluxe episode that premieres on our YouTube channel, please go ahead and chat along with us during this episode, so don't be shy. We're a group of 5 friends who absolutely love Sailor Moon, traveling together, collecting, and never shutting up about our favorite 90s manga and anime. TLDR, Sailor Moon is on our brains 24/7.
Truth.
Ain't no lies there. Please join us each episode for Sailor Moon news, event recaps, discussions, or just a good old dose of Sailor Moon nostalgia. Nerd out with us. Let's go ahead and introduce our team members. So who'd like to start?
Me! Hey guys, this is Sailor Moon blogger and collector. And Sailor Moon event, you say, I'm on my way.
Hi everyone, this is TARA, your resident Luna Kitty Queen, and Luna, I'm trying to do a podcast here. Ugh. And this kitty has claws.
Hello. It's Luke here. Just another Sailor Moon know-it-all. And if it's Sailor Moon, I've probably been there, seen it, watched it, read it, played it, or done it.
Hey y'all, it's Lux, your mermazing material boy here to remind you Sailor V came first.
Thank you all for the intros. You guys know me as the gal who keeps everybody up to date on new Sailor Moon merchandise news here in the USA and Japan. I'm ＯCHI, and I'll be your host for episode 4. First up on the agenda is our recurring segment, our Sailor Moon Roundtable Recap. So I hate to start our roundtable recap with something so depressing, but we must discuss it. On July 17th, Japan time, the official Sailor Moon website announced Shining Moon Tokyo, which is a Sailor Moon restaurant and show in Azabu Juban, has closed their doors permanently.
Sucks.
I paused for effect, you guys. You guys showed up for that.
We're crying.
They stated on their website, sailormoon-shiningmoontokyo.com would be removed from the web on August 31st, 2020. Does anyone here have any final words sending Shining Moon Tokyo off into the galaxy cauldron to hopefully be reborn into something new someday?
I bet Luke does, because he's the only one that got to see it.
So it was a really special experience. You guys know I went back in October, and it was just cool to be able to, feel like you're transported into the whole world of Sailor Moon, and the costumes were beautiful, and the pacing was just fun. So I'm definitely sad that more people weren't able to experience it, and I can imagine how disappointing it is for the cast and all the employees who lost their jobs. So, but the good thing was some of the actresses were involved in Super Live, so it might not be the last time we see them. Who knows? They could be coming back in another musical. We might see them fighting for love and justice again at some point. But, I think about it, and after 6 years of running these back-to-back musicals that were so successful, I think that the organizers kind of got the sense that there was more demand than there really was. We saw so many sold-out musicals, and when we'd go there, we'd see fans from all over the world coming to watch the musicals. So maybe they thought with the Olympics that there would be, this huge demand. And with COVID and then the Olympics being canceled, I think that it was just this perfect storm. And it's so sad that, it's ending, but I would say that it's better that it's ending and that, they're not just sitting there losing money that could be invested into other things like more musicals or future projects. So while I'm sad, I'm glad that they're not holding on to something that's losing the franchise money.
Yeah, it's really sad. I mean, I was really looking forward to watching it, seeing those sparkly costumes. I mean, the pictures were to die for. And I love that they interacted with the crowd, more often than they did in, the past musicals, where it was just the only the very finale show was when they ran out into the crowd. Whereas this one, every night they went out, they took pictures, and they really interacted with everybody. So it was something I was really looking forward to seeing. But
were you able to actually film the show part of the things? Because it looked like, from what I've seen, a lot of things was allowed, like as far as photography and video.
Yeah, so you couldn't film the entire show, but there was times during when they were singing Moonlight Densetsu that you were allowed to record or take as many pictures as you wanted. And then when the show's over, they go around to the table, and they'll allow you to take pictures of them, and they're kind of acting in character. So you can snap pictures real quick as they're walking around. For sure, that was allowed.
they better be acting in character.
Yeah.
Well, they are in costume.
Yeah.
Well, what I was going to say is that I think it was really important for them to let people share their experience, because I was seeing pictures of Shiny Moon every day on my feed, and they always had these like little stories or funny gags going on. They would hug, they would take hands, they would fight, just pictures that would come out from the day-to-day shows. So, as a fan, you're watching all these pictures pop up every day. You really want to go. So I just think it didn't have enough time to grow as it should have. But it was many different factors.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, since you said that, so many people were sharing all of their, photos and videos on social media, you would think that that would have helped make it grow since it was all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But sadly, it didn't. And then COVID hit, and then it just, boom.
And I'm personally sad of all, like I said, and I think I said this in episode 1, of all the possibilities that could have been. Like, I think with it being such a small venue that they could have made so many different stories. They could have focused on different senshi, Sailor V, there was just so many aspects of what could have been, and I'm kind of sad that they're cut short.
Yeah.
For real, yeah.
But I think that there is a possibility that they could come back, because it was a whole production. They had to make music, costumes, menus, merch, and I don't think they'll easily let that go down the drain. I think they could come back with another version or updated version in another place, because Asabu Juban is like super high prime real estate. It's very uppity. The area is very...
Yeah, well, and that's another reason I'm super sad, is because every time I go to Japan, I always stay like in Azabu, or like last time it was like right there in Roppongi. But like, I just love the idea of being able to walk just down the street, and then there it was. Like, I'm still sad.
Aww.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Well, that location.
No, it'll be back.
Some sort of version will be back for sure. Like, Sailor Moon's not dead yet. She's gonna be back in 2021 for sure.
Yeah, and I think that for people that want that same kind of a vibe, I mean, the musicals, you have dialogue, you have live singing, you have so much going on in the musicals. So if you're looking for a great live show, I think the musical is going to give you even more feels than you get from what was happening at Shining Moon. Shining Moon was great because you were just transported and you were included in it. But, the musicals are my number one for sure. I don't know about you guys, but...
Well, next
Well,
year.
it's easy to say that you went.
Yeah, he's the only one who's like, okay, I got that fix, on to the next.
Yeah, right?
He's like, that's not a big deal. Like, we're like,
Thanks for your insight, everyone. It's definitely heartbreaking. I'm really sad we didn't get to go. But let's go ahead and move on to something less upsetting. Maybe.
Eyebrow raise.
So Comic-Con was unusual this year due to the pandemic. They still held it, and they called it Comic-Con at Home. And the panels were live streamed online, so everyone got to enjoy Comic-Con this year. So that was kind of neat. So I wonder what this means for future Comic-Cons. Since it's always so difficult to get into them and get tickets, I wonder if, next year maybe they might, do some live streaming online and then have some people go to it.
Yeah, I see like so much stuff is changing too. Like even the way products are announced now, instead of doing these big live shows in auditoriums, they're creating these really great videos. So
yeah,
I think it's something that's just happening across industries. They're figuring out new ways to get that same information passed on and still be able to connect with people.
Right. And as far as Comic-Con goes, that really means some good stuff for people who, can't make it. And, tickets are already like impossible to get for some of us.
Super impossible. Oh my
So
God.
definitely cool that they did it this way. And I don't want to say thanks to the pandemic, but dang, it is changing the way some things are happening. But anyways, there was a Sailor Moon panel this year called Sailor Moon, The Power of Female Friendship. And it was live streamed on July 25th on YouTube. And you can now watch it anytime on Comic-Con International's YouTube channel. Now, I'll be the first to admit, after reading the description of the panel, I had absolutely zero interest in watching it. I noticed that nobody super important in the Sailor Moon franchise was going to be there, so I just skipped it. However, I know Sin and Tara watched it and actually have some things to say about it. So would you guys care to let us know your thoughts on what you saw? Was it worth watching or no? And can you convince me to go back and watch it?
I don't know about that, but
Yeah, I don't know about that.
but see, let's start by mentioning who was actually there first. The panel was hosted by Jessica Tsang. I'm sorry, I didn't catch her name, or the way she pronounced it. But she's very well known in the industry. She's a comic book historian and the moderator. The other panel members included Michelle Ruff. She is the voice actress of Luna.
Meow.
Kate Higgins. Kate Higgins, the voice actress of Mercury. Amanda Miller, voice actress of Sailor Jupiter. We also had Sam Maggs. She is a writer of female-centric comic books, and she is also a writer of many books that portray and tell the history of female friendships. And finally, Chris Bryant, who is a comedian and gamer with a Y, and he is known to be a huge Moonie. So those were the main people who were in the panel. I am not super familiar with a lot of them, but I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on how it went, Tara?
Well, the same thing with Brooke was like, well, there really wasn't much interest. I feel like this panel may have been a little bit different, have the movie not have been postponed. I feel like maybe this was like a last minute, we've got to figure something out since the movie was postponed type panel. They did stay true to the power of female friendship. That it was exactly all the panel was about, was the power of female friendship. And my reason for watching was I love Sam Maggs. I'm actually reading a lot of her comics and that she helps write. She's working on one from Captain Marvel, Marvel Action, or Marvel Action Captain Marvel, however you want to say it. So I was really excited to hear her and see her, so that was a lot of fun. But back to the actual panel, there was nothing new that came out of it. It was just a bunch of people talking about Sailor Moon and the power of female friendship.
Yeah, when I first saw the announcement, I went straight to read the description. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Even though I knew that the movie was postponed, I was like, this is still a big deal, Sailor Moon panel at Comic-Con. But I read the description, I was like, ooh.
Pass.
Yeah, I feel like it was not your average San Diego Comic-Con panel. I feel like this panel would have been a regular Comic-Con panel with a bunch of fans type deal.
Oh, like with an audience actually there?
Well, yeah. It just seemed like it wasn't up to par as far as this is San Diego Comic-Con. So I just feel like maybe because they didn't have anything coming that they scrambled to figure out what to talk about.
Yeah, I started to watch it and I kind of skimmed my way through it. And the thing is originally, like you guys, I was saying, hey, maybe they're going to announce a U.S. release of Sailor Moon Eternal movies. So that was what I was initially excited for. And it wasn't a couple minutes into it, I realized, they're not going to talk about it. You could just tell they were not going to talk about it. And then A lot of fans have been mentioning this whole origin story about how Naoko was creating Sailor Moon because she didn't have any close friends. So she created this story about like a group of close friends that she wished she always had. And there's been a lot of fans that are kind of being like, hey, whoa, stop a minute, fact check. And, there's a lot of rumors going around about whether this ever actually happened. So I'm wondering, can anybody substantiate that? Because I've never heard that personally.
I haven't either, so maybe we'll just look into it.
I've heard the rumor, but I've never seen any evidence like from any of her written interviews that has been published officially to where she has ever said that. So as far as we know, it's a rumor.
Yeah. I think that, most of the interviews that I ever hear, she talks about she created Sailor Moon with collaboration from Osabu about wanting to have girl fighters in sailor, uniforms. So that's every time I've ever heard an origin story, it was because of that. It wasn't, based on the friendship elements, which are great, of course, but...
Yep, and I just read that interview too. So, yep, that's exactly what she said. And
All right, but coming back to the actual panel, I do want to mention some things that Sam Maggs mentioned. Since she's a writer, she has a very large vocabulary, and she's very eloquent in communicating some of her ideas. And she talked about how the mainstream media portrays many different ways that there is to be a man. But there's like this kind of Smurfette syndrome going on where there's only one woman and everybody else is men. Now that happens a lot in American cartoons, that it's a whole group of guys and the one girl. And the male creators cram all of the tropes and traits of all women into a single female character. Whereas Sailor Moon teaches of different ways to be a girl or a woman, and that diversity exists in the real world. Now, obviously, Tuxedo Mask is kind of all male traits into one single.
It's flip-flopped.
Guy.
yeah, they did flip-flop.
Yeah, I mean, we do need to mention that. But
maybe she was taking a stab at that,
Yeah.
She's like, well, we're just going to do it back to you.
Right?
Exactly. And it's not like males need that representation. It exists everywhere out there. And us women really do. Not just women, queer people also need that representation. So in this case, I won't fault her for that. But they also mentioned how the characters, they're allowed to be who they are, whether it be a crybaby, whether they're very smart, strong, passionate, or a tomboy. Like, they can all be who they are without any judgment, and that nobody is above anyone else because of their traits or their flaws. So I thought that was interesting. Like I said, it's just a discussion, so they touched on some interesting points.
Yeah, I really like that they talked about that, because it is nice. And it was something that they had mentioned, that Sailor Moon was way ahead of the times.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that because it's so true. I mean, that's not something that you see, and that's probably why I was so glued to the TV when I saw it. I was like, oh my god, here I am, a freaking crybaby, but I can be powerful too.
Yes, exactly. And then one last thing that did stand out to me is that I thought it was super interesting that Amanda Miller mentioned that when Viz started to produce the Sailor Moon Crystal series, they sent out a whole bunch of audition tapes to Japan without any names on them. They just listed them as audition 1, 2, audition 3 for each character. And then the people in Japan, they just listened for the essence of the characters. They obviously don't speak English, so they just listened and see if every actor was portraying their characters correctly. And that Naoko decided on who portrayed their character best. So I thought that was interesting. I've never heard of Naoko actually listening into the auditions, and I think that's great that she chose these actresses to portray the Senshi. They didn't mention if the rest of the cast were selected by her, but at least I think the inner Senshi were chosen by Naoko.
I remember back when it was starting, that was like what they were boasting about, like Naoko handpicked these actresses. So this is her vision and sound of how it should be.
I don't remember that, but good to know.
So you heard that before, Lux, before the panel.
Oh yeah, like that was like a big deal because a lot of people were like, "Oh, like the decast," and people were like, "No, Queen Naoko handpicked these people.
What?
Shut
That's
it
super
down.
cool. Yeah.
That was in the Anime Expo panel, wasn't it? The very first panel with all of them.
Well, we were there.
We were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that Char did mention something about Sensei being very involved in the casting process.
Yeah, that's why this wasn't a surprise to me. I was like, yeah, I remember them talking about it.
Well, I think that's all that's worth mentioning about this panel. I mean, there were great guests. It was interesting, but nothing new and nothing that we didn't know already, apparently.
I'm not going to mention any names, but if you watch the panel and you watch one of the guests' body language, there were some people that maybe did not want to be there. Just saying.
Off the record.
Well, we should probably move on.
Well, I'm not sure if you quite convinced me, guys, but I will say the Sam Mags person that you guys were talking about, she sounds very intelligent and had some really good conversations to add to that panel. So it might be worth it just to watch it for her.
She's awesome.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, she sounded really cool from what you guys said. Great discussions, everyone. Thanks so much. That concludes our roundtable recap. So up next is our Collector's Corner. So we have some exciting collections to talk about today. And yeah, and in my opinion, the biggest announcement was Primitive Skateboarding surprised us on July 23rd when they announced they would be doing, pause because this is crazy, you guys, get ready for this, a full Sailor Moon collection. Yay! This was so awesome. And joining us this segment is a special guest commentator and my husband, Kurt.
Hi, Kurt.
Yo, brother.
Hey, Kurt.
Hey, everybody.
Kurt is a Moon Fam supporter. This guy has tagged along with us on so many Moony outings and adventures. He's also watched all 200 episodes and Crystal, you guys. So I dare say he's a Sailor Moon fan, but more so, he's a skateboarder. So we wanted to get an actual skateboarder's insight for this segment. Say hi and introduce yourself, Sea-Dog.
Hey, everybody. Kurt here, Ochi's husband. I'm a Mooney by association, been a skateboarder for 20 years, and still actively skating to this day.
Now, before we talk about the new collection, I do want to point out Kurt was the guy who discovered the first Sailor Moon primitive items that launched at the end of January 2019 when he saw there was some Tuxedo Mask items in their Heartbreakers line. Kurt, can you take us back to that day that you saw those? What was going through your mind when you noticed that Tuxedo Mask skateboard and shirts? How shocked were you?
Well, needless to say, I was pretty shocked. But I get up very early in the morning for work, and where I'm at, it would be 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. So, like
Super
I said,
early.
Super
Very
early.
early.
So that involved me coming across this that morning and waking Ochi up so she could get up and blog about it. But we
He's a good hubby.
well, yeah, but I came across it because I was checking Primitive's site every day, because at the time I was ordering a lot of boards from them because they always had good sales on boards. So that was just doing my daily checks for a board that may have been on sale or something. And then that popped up. So that kind of changed everything. That morning, it was kind of a big deal because once you got to look at that board, and of course we're talking about the Tuxedo Mask board, that you could see that they actually got the Sailor Moon license because they had the Naoko copyright stamp on there on the top of the board. And of course they've already had a very successful line beforehand with Dragon Ball Z back in 2018, so they already had an in with Toei, and then they already started doing Rick and Morty boards as well. So this was just them testing the waters, I suppose, to a not male-driven anime.
Yeah, you're right. But they were really being really safe with Tuxedo Mask.
They were.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, having the one barely even title male character in there.
Yeah.
But it did sell out.
So fast forward to present time, Primitive now has released many Dragon Ball collections and Naruto collections. So we knew it was only a matter of time before they dropped a full Sailor Moon collection. And I know I want to say mere days before Primitive actually announced their Sailor Moon collection, I had said something about when are they going to do a Sailor Moon collection, because we were actually at the mall shopping at Zumiez and the Naruto collection was right in our face, and I'm like, why can't they do a Sailor Moon one? So it was so ironic, just days later they drop this collection on us, and of course as a skateboarding Sailor Moon household, we were stoked. And I know you guys were really excited too, just because of you seeing how big their other anime collections were. So I want you guys to tell me about your guys' experience when the collection dropped. Were you anticipating to buy anything? Did you guys change your minds as the products came out, because there was kind of like a delay as they were putting up the products on the website? Let us know what you bought. Give me all the details. I want to know what your guys' thoughts are.
I'll go first because I bought the least out of everyone here. Well, I guess not Luke, but so I of course wanted the Moon deck skateboard, whatever. And I was like, I need it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a freaking Sailor Moon skateboard. Like, who would have thought? And I just thought it was so cute. I love how it's like, has like, what is it? Like iridescent or holographic, whatever. Like, it looks so cool.
So beautiful.
Yeah. And I had to call my brother and I was like, there's 2 sizes. And he was like saying about like your feet and so I got the size up. Not that I'm gonna skate on it. It's gonna go right on the wall. And then I got
That's cute.
And then I also got the black shirt with the tie-dye because I just thought it looked super cool. And I was just like, you know what? I gotta support this line. I wanted to buy way more, but I was like, stay chill.
Stay chill. Well, I didn't stay chill.
Same, Tara, same.
I got both of the decks, the group Senshi one and Sailor Moon. I went in going, okay, I know I have to have the Sailor Moon deck. I know I have to have the Senshi deck. And then after I checked out, I was like, oh crap, I missed the crop jacket. So I had to go back in, buy another thing, and added another shirt. And I'm like, now that that was all said and done, I'm like, well, I want another shirt.
It's like the initial shock, because you're like, crap, things are going to sell out. So you're like,
Yes.
I just got to get these items first. And then if I could go back on the ones that I was kind of iffy about later.
Exactly.
Right.
So so everybody knows out there, the boards were around $60, and apparently that's like normal for Primitive's pricing, right?
Well, that's normal for their boards that they do a licensing with, like their Dragon Ball Z,
Right.
their Naruto, all that stuff. They generally tend to be, I think the boards are normally $51, $55 for just their regular boards that go out for their team and to production, but when they get the licensing involved, that's when they go up.
Yeah, this is a premium brand. So shirts were around $35, hoodies were around $70, and socks around $20, for just kind of an example for people who may not have been, really into this or didn't want to buy it. So we dropped some dough, and I know Sin also dropped some dough. Do you care to elaborate?
I didn't spend that much. Not as much as you and Tara, that's for sure. I am very picky about my shirts. I usually like the art to be very, I want the art to pop the most. So with these tie-dye shirts, I feel like the texture and the tie-dye itself pops more than the actual characters. So I wasn't interested in any of the tie-dye stuff, which was most of the stuff. But I did buy a jacket, a sweatshirt and a shirt. And they have these little flags that I have no idea where I'm going to put, but I'm so happy about them.
Oh, yeah, the banner
banners.
thing.
Yeah, those are rad.
Yes, they're so cool.
Those banners are huge too.
Are they?
I think they're 5 foot by 3 foot or 5 foot by 2 foot.
What?
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Maybe
They're
I'll
going to
get
be
one.
super cool.
Yeah, they're going up in the garage for sure.
Yes. Well, I got one of them, but I'm really happy with what I got. I just got like 5 things, but I definitely wanted the boards. I am not a skater. Actually, I don't do anything sports.
Hallelujah.
So I just wanted a board for my collection, but I wanted something that I can interact with. So I said I'm going to buy a couple of boards, and I'm going to actually deck one out, like make them, I don't know what the proper terminology is here, but
You're going to set it up like a regular board.
Exactly. Thank you. So I wanted to put stickers on it and then make it really cute. So I asked Kurt for help. I'm like, Curtis, I need you to help me set this board up. I want it to be usable, maybe my niece or my nephews can ride it, but it doesn't have to be professional either because we're not going to be shredding it. But I want it to be cute. I wanted to have glittery wheels, and the trucks need to be in different colors. So we're working on that.
You already sound like a pro saying trucks.
Yeah,
I know.
Look at you.
Yeah, I gave her a little crash course last night on all the parts of a skateboard.
Exactly. I seriously went to skateboarding university with Kurt. he made videos for me and everything.
Aw.
But I'm excited about the skateboard. I wasn't so excited that the Moon one and the Inners have names of. Are they skaters, Kurt, or who are these people?
Oh yeah, I've been wanting to elaborate on this if someone brought it up.
Okay, go ahead.
So, first of all, I want to actually talk about the art on these boards, if you guys don't mind first, with the exception of the team one. That one is of itself. No, they don't associate that one with the team rider, so that's different. But the reason why those names are on there is because each one of those people, let's see, you got Hamilton, McClung, Gillette, Rodriguez, Neal. These are all professional skateboarders that ride for Primitive Skateboarding. And in order for those pros to continue to get royalties, their names have to be on a product to get for board sales. So that's where that comes into play. Let me also speak on why I think everything is sold out on the boards, if you guys don't mind.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Okay, so there was 6 boards in total. Only 2 were available at launch, but the other 4 of the other Inners, Mars, Venus, Mercury, and Jupiter, they were sold out immediately when they launched, which to me, and I can get into this because of kind of what I know about the skateboard industry currently right now because of the pandemic, is that there is a board shortage in the skateboard industry, meaning that they're having a hard time getting boards made. They're having a hard time getting the veneers for the wood to get the boards made, and that's just trickling down to final production of boards. So my guess is that these were placeholder images on the site for the collection, so once they get more boards in stock, they will backfill. Well, they can't backfill because no orders have been made to consumers, but then they will be in stock for the site. And my guess also is for the 2 that were available, that we've all gotten our orders put in, everything else is shipped shy of the boards.
Yep.
My guess is they still didn't even have those boards in their hands yet at the time of delivery. I know if you were to pre-order these boards on Zoomies, they were saying they would have a ship date of, I believe, August 7th, which means that Zoomies isn't even going to get them, which means Primitive isn't going to get them until probably this weekend, if at the earliest. So maybe we'll see those ship out on Monday, which would be the 3rd. And so yeah, that's kind of what's going on there. I can't. It seemed like all the other soft goods were pretty much available.
Yeah.
But those 4 boards, which I have to say honestly, the Jupiter one or Mercury, particularly the Jupiter one, is the one I'm actually the most looking forward to because first of all, ＯCHI,
Wife,
Jupiter,
of course.
my wife, but also that board only comes in one size, and of the Primitive boards, that is the size I bought the most. That particular shape, I love that shape of that board.
It was
so,
made for him.
Yeah, I want that board. We're gonna probably end up getting 3 of that board by itself.
Oh.
One for the wall. Brooke wants me to set her up one for to have like a board just in case she ever wants to roll around on it, and I'll have one for myself that I just set up with my normal stuff. But
So Sin, he's going to be setting up 2 boards, one
oh
for
yeah,
you, one for me.
Yes.
Well, when those other Inners are available, we'll do a board setup there.
Video,
but
yeah.
there will be a board setup video. I'm just dropping this here now of the board that we have coming for Sin. Once I get all the components in for that, we will be doing a how to assemble a skateboard video.
Yeah, for anybody
that
that's
wants to know.
interested.
I need Kurt to explain to me before I get even more pissed.
Oh, I know where this is going.
Please explain the colors on the upper deck of the board, because the pictures on the website only show a very hot pink finish on them, and I was so excited about that. However, apparently this is not how they are produced. Can you please elaborate while I go scream in a pillow?
Yes, let me elaborate on that. Okay, so there's no way they can guarantee for this graphic, this on this board for this company that and all these sizes that they can only produce this board with pink on the top or that, because they just get what they get in, and it's just such a vast industry, skateboarding, where the company that makes all the stains that stains all the veneers and sends them out to the wood shops to produce boards, sends them out to multiple wood shops. So it's just catch as catch can on what veneers you get. Now, of course, for their promotional images, they use the ones that are best color match when they have it, and they probably hand picked that out for their promotional images. I will say that, because they did the same thing with Tuxedo Mask. None of us got the pink one.
None of us. And it does state on the Primitive website, top wood stain color varies, but
it says that?
Yes, it does.
Yep. And it's for that reason why I was just saying is that there's too many factors going into how these boards are produced that they can guarantee a top stain for a color. They may be able to handpick so say for the Tuxedo Mask board last year, that had multiple spots on it where you could see the bottom veneer through the graphics. So they made sure that the bottom stain was pink, which will give them that. Somehow they managed to be able to do that, but they probably only had so many of that to do, because and I will say this also, I've watched a few videos on how skateboards are made. They tend to pick what veneers go in what level of the board. Like this quality is good for top and bottom, but then your middle veneers are different qualities, because you want your top and bottom ones to be your strongest ones and stuff like that, because of the impact that boards take and everything. So, I mean, like I said, there's more factors than I even really understand to why all this stuff is. I just know that that's how it is. There's some board companies that just don't get any colored veneers at all on their boards. It's just like your natural wood grain color, and I have some boards that are like that.
Okay, well, I will touch base on what we ordered. We ordered way too much. We ordered a lot of the clothes, and I think I have a little bit of regrets, because for me, and I don't know if anybody else was feeling the same way, as stuff was dropping, I was starting to freak out that you know how you're trying to make a decision because there were so many products at launch, and I was like, crap, I'm trying to make a good decision so I don't, overspend. But also at the same time, I'm like, you have to hurry up. This stuff's not gonna last.
Right.
So I put stuff in my cart that I realized I shouldn't have. So when I looked back at my order, I'm like, why did I buy these t-shirts? These are men's t-shirts that I'm not gonna wear. I should have bought the women's ones. So that's what happened to me. But it was a great launch. I was super happy with it. As far as like the amount of products that they dropped, I knew that the prices were going to be expensive, and I know a lot of people have already, said their piece that, ooh, this is too pricey for me, but I knew it was going to be pricey going into it, so that wasn't an issue for me. But I do want to say, as I wrap this Primitive segment up, their website rocks for high traffic.
Absolutely.
Yep, I agree.
None of us here had any issues, did we?
Nope.
No issue. I do want to point out on the t-shirts real quick. I will say I am very, very happy that there was a pink hoodie, a pank hoodie, and a pank shirt. Okay?
Pank.
Finally. I am so tired of white shirts or black shirts. And now I love tie-dye, but there's a lot of tie-dye out lately. So
much tie-dye.
I was
What the
so excited for just a pank shirt.
Agreed.
Thanks, Kurt, for all your insight into the skateboarding industry and world, because everybody here besides Kurt, we're really not athletic, I don't think, and are into sports of any sort, so we appreciate your insight.
And also, if you guys have any more, of course, if anybody has any more questions, I mean, I don't want to flood ＯCHI with any more messages, but I guess feel free to ask her. And she's already been asking me questions that people have asked, because I have some knowledge on some stuff.
And people have been asking me. So yeah, if anybody out there listening has any general questions, or even, just direct them to me, and I'll ask Kurt, and I'll relay the information to you. Now, if your wallets weren't already wiped out from Primitive, Moonies were about to go bankrupt. On July 29th, ColourPop announced their anticipated second Sailor Moon restock would be happening on July 30th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. That was barely 24 hours of a notice. Now, I know many of you out there have been upset with the way ColourPop has been handling their collection and restocks. Their site hasn't been the best at handling high traffic situations, but I will say, this time I did see way more people say positive things, and also many got what they wanted this time around. Did anyone here try this time, or any comments or opinions in general about the ColourPop restock?
So I did get a eyeshadow palette. I was like, oh, I think I want to do a little giveaway on my Instagram, because I really appreciate everyone that's been following me, and I just wanted to show a little bit of appreciation. So I was like, let me see how ColourPop is doing this time around, and it was delayed. The stock was delayed. It wasn't right at 10 a.m. Pacific time like it was supposed to be. It was delayed like 5 minutes. So I was talking to ＯCHI and I'm like, oh my God, it already sold out. And she's like, what? And I decided to go ahead and look again, and then it was all there. So I went in, I was like, okay, let me buy this real quick. Bought it, and it said on their website, hey, it's going to be about a minute that you'll be in the checkout queue. And it wasn't. It was like maybe 30 seconds. PayPal worked real quick this time, and I was done. I was like, oh my God, what is this? So I feel like either everybody got their collection already and was only getting bits and pieces to finish their collection, so the website traffic wasn't as hard. But I know a lot of people were having a hard time getting the blushes. The blushes were the big thing this time. Glitter was the time before. So I know a lot of people are still not getting the blushes, but I will have the palette. It was shipped yesterday, and if you go to my Instagram at Sailor_Bratzilla, I will be working on a little giveaway for everybody once I reach a certain amount of followers. I just haven't figured out all the rules yet and guidelines of what I wanted to do. So just a little shout out for that.
So sweet.
That's awesome. That's gonna, Moonies out there, follow Tara and get some free Mooney merch.
Woo!
Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong.
In conclusion, it was a little bit better this time with ColourPop, but as Tara said, it could have only been because everybody has been trickling in and getting what they needed. Some people even resorted to secondhand, so maybe not as many people were trying for it this time, and that's why it was a little easier. Who knows? But I'm glad for a lot of you guys out there, you were able to get what you wanted this time, so that's great. So that's it for our Collector's Corner. Up next is our debut of our newest segment, Dream Mirror Illusions, where we talk about our dreams for new merchandise or Sailor Moon collaborations. And don't forget, we'd love to hear from you guys too. So what companies would you guys like to see Sailor Moon team up with? Let us know in the comments or through our social media. Who wants to start?
I will. Okay, so one dream collab I would just die for would have to be Sailor Moon and Vans. Now, I know some of you listeners are probably going like, what? But if you look at Vans' collection history, it would make total sense. Every June, Vans has dropped a killer collection. In 2015, they collaborated with Disney, 2016 with Nintendo, 2017 with Peanuts/Snoopy, and 2018 with Marvel. In our deluxe version, we will be displaying some of their dope pieces. Now, hear me out, y'all. They go all out with shoes, backpacks, hats, hoodies, tees, keychains. Now let's get into what they could do with Sailor freaking Moon. All right. I would just love, oh my God, I don't even know where to start. Like,
The possibilities are endless.
I can imagine them doing like one shoe with like just Moon, for Tara, Luna shoes. I could even see like a shoe with like all her different, like her moon stick, her compact, and oh my God, it's just, what would you guys like to see?
Oh my God, I want everything. Vans does some really awesome collabs, so count me in for it all.
Right? I mean, it's the possibilities. Like you said, it's just endless that they could do. I mean, Vans covers everything.
Yeah, I've seen some friends of mine that have ordered the custom shoes where they can put their own artwork on there. And I was just like looking at them and thinking, oh my God, that would be so cool if they had Sailor Moon imagery on it. So, I mean, I'm all for it. I would like to see, we don't really see a lot of manga images ever on anything. I would love to see manga images, not just, the recycled anime images or the ones that they're using that are
Clip art.
Totally officially licensed. Like Marco does great artwork, but we've all seen it on every box and every new thing that's come out. Like, I would love to see some manga images.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Kind of like the Uniqlo shirts, they had the manga images on it. So I could totally see that on some really killer shoes from Vans.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know what else I was picturing? You know how like Vans is famous for their checker print? Like, what would be cool is if like they had the checker print, but in certain little boxes, it'd be like the compact, then the cosmic. Like,
Oh, I'm
oh
sold.
my
I'm sold.
gosh. Okay, the next one I gotta say. Now grab onto something because this is gonna rock your Moon Kingdom. Lisa Frank. Lisa Frank and Sailor Moon. Yes, that's right. Lisa Frank
Oh,
and Sailor Moon. They're both super colorful, nostalgic parts of our childhoods. And how mega awesome would that be to see them together? Now, I know you may be like, dream on, Lux, but I am, baby. I am. Because that's what this whole section is about. In 2018, Hot Topic dropped an exclusive line of Lisa Frank and SpongeBob collaboration. Yeah, SpongeBob. Now, if this porous little sponge can get a hookup with the rainbow unicorn queen, why not our guardian of love and justice?
yes.
But, oh my God, oh my God, can you guys imagine?
No, thank you.
Luke is out on this
Luke-
one.
I am so out.
Luke is officially not a silver millennial anymore. Goodbye. No.
I'll take a Sailor Moon Trapper Keeper, but no, no Lisa Frank. Sorry.
Oh my God.
Just too colorful for you, or why?
I don't know. I just, it never really spoke to me.
Bad gay.
You know what? I'm actually also going to say no thank you to that. I don't know. I just feel like they have different vibes for me personally. So even though I do like Lisa
Have you
Frank,
seen the SpongeBob and Lisa Frank stuff?
No, I have not. I haven't.
I'm not a fan of SpongeBob, but they actually was cute.
I know, I'm jealous.
Okay, so I have one. I want to take you back in time just a little bit. We're not talking Moonlight Memories back in time, but back to when GE Animation had asked us on Twitter what type of things Moonies were looking for. I immediately went, hey, car accessories, please.
Yes.
Now, the brand Just Funky has taken the reins on that. In 2018, they sold a Luna and Artemis sun visor, and of course, immediate purchase for me.
Kitty Queen.
Kitty Queen. I took it out for a test run, and the quality is not there for the Vegas heat. I am upset with myself that I didn't buy two because it crumbled. It is garbage. So in 2019, they brought out the 5-inner Senshi sun visor. And I was like, okay, two. I have to buy two. And then they also got the license plate bracket. These are great. I'm so glad that they are tapping into the car accessory market, but it can be better. So I want Just Funky or maybe a different car accessory company. I don't know what's out there for brands. Like, what is the best brand out there? But if you hear me, car accessories, please look at the Sailor Moon license. We want more accessories, not just the sun visor, not just a license plate bracket. We want to support Moon, and we want the world to see, hey, we like Sailor Moon. Give us some decals. Give us some floorboard covers. Give us a steering wheel cover. I mean, there are so many things that you can do. And did I mention decals? Decals, okay? You guys can kill it with decals. There's so much that you can do. What do you guys think?
I think it'd be cool if they had like seat covers or whatever. That'd be really nice.
I would like little antenna balls, but like, you know, like a Luna head or like maybe the top of the Cutie Moon Rod, the Luna P. I mean, it's endless, but you know, I don't even have an antenna on my car, but I would like to see them out there.
I agree. I think that we need some quality car products because the things that we've seen, like there was that license plate frame that was like cheap plastic, and then the sun visors that Tara mentioned that crumbled. Like, sun visors are supposed to be meant for the sun. They shouldn't be crumbling. So we definitely need some quality products, and I don't know if I just really hope that the market can come here because I know like in Japan, they get a lot of quality Sailor Moon products, like for adults, and we don't see that here yet. They're still treating us like children, I think, with some of these products. Like, they use the cheapest materials that they can get and then, market it towards adults. And I think that they should start to be like, hey, you know what, Sailor Moon fans, they're older and they want to buy quality stuff. So I agree with you, Tara. We want some stuff that's not gonna, crumble in the Vegas desert.
Well, I mean, because I had a sun visor that lasted 10 years in this Vegas heat.
See?
And
it's possible.
And then I have this Luna and Artemis that's just a crumble mess. And it's just like, no, come on. There has to be better quality out there somewhere. And then these weren't expensive by any means. So obviously you get what you pay for. But I'm sure with $10 more, you can make something pretty quality. Especially because I didn't pay much for the ones that lasted 10 years. So come on.
Yeah, so you're willing to pay more for a premium product.
Right. Yeah, I'd want something to last. And I get the Vegas heat is very brutal, but that should be your testing market. I will test it for you. We'll wrap this little part of our wishful thinking for vehicles. But hey, hey, Ford, if you're listening, can we get a Sailor Moon and Ford vehicle?
Oh,
Just
yes.
They did do those Sailor Moon Ford Fusion commercials on Hulu.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was for the Fusion.
Remember, she was looking at the constellations.
There's Sagittarius, Libra, the constellation of the new Ford Fusion. Oh, I just love it so much. The sculpted exterior, the newly redesigned grille and wheels. It's the most stylish car I've ever seen.
The Fusion has more than just looks, Usagi. It offers amazing driver assist features like pre-collision assist with pedestrian detection and adaptive cruise control with stop and go. They can help make driving less stressful.
A lightning blue one would match my uniform perfectly.
Oh, you aren't even old enough to drive.
Just a minute. This is unbelievable.
You haven't heard of Enhanced Active Park Assist?
It can help you find a parking spot and steer into it. So smart.
It's the coolest available feature in the new 2017 Ford Fusion.
Such power and without a silver crystal. We are the Pretty Guardians who fight for love and for vehicle technology. And in the name of the 2017 Ford Fusion, we'll persuade you!
Yeah, so, hey, Ford, we're watching.
We're what?
Man, I don't want to spend $30,000 on a car right now when I have to pay for a $600 doll fee. So can that wait for 5 years?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so I've got two things on my list. So the first one that I was thinking about is, right now we have so many different RPG items out there, and with the Proplicas, they're beautiful, but they are plastic. So what I think would be really awesome is imagine having RPG items that were made from metal or glass or stone. And they would have lights and be high quality, heavy, sturdy material. I'm thinking okay, so with Star Wars, you can buy lightsabers that are metal, that make sounds just like, the movies. And then they have high quality light and they have kyber crystals and they're just so amazing. Can you imagine if they actually used the right materials on a Proplica line?
How much would those be?
I don't want to think about that.
I don't think that the price would really matter. I know they'd be expensive, but imagine, okay, if they made it limited edition, numbered, collectors would go crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Numbered?
Because some of those Proplicas are already in the hundreds, so I don't know, the idea is wonderful, I love it, but I'm too broke for that shit.
So let me ask you this, Luke. You stopped collecting. Are you just trying to throw us under the bus here?
No, I would honestly, if they made it in that quality, I would buy it. I'm just saying. I might not buy everyone, but okay, OCHI. if they made a heart compact,
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
if they made that in like really high quality, would that be like your grail?
Hell yeah, it would be. I'll answer that
Yeah.
for her.
I'm speechless.
I mean, you might not have
Yeah.
to buy every single one, but they already have the molds. Like, it's just a matter of upgrading the materials and upgrading the paint job.
So would you want like Swarovski crystals and stuff too?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I was kidding, but oh my god, he's just up in the price.
You know what? I'm thinking about the first thing I thought of, because he said something made out of crystal. The first thing I thought of is when you go to Disneyland, they have a store right in the middle of the castle that sells all glass items.
The Erebus brothers.
Oh.
Yes, the Rebus. That's what it is, right?
Yeah, I have a Cinderella slipper.
Yeah. So those are really high quality for adult collectors. And I think that's a great idea. Although I don't know if I would be buying all of that, but we're dreaming right now. So if it was a dream.
Yeah, it's a dream mirror illusion.
Oh, so I can have a
Yes.
dream bank account too,
Yeah.
right? So I'm a millionaire in my dream. So I'm for
Also,
this.
I was just going to say that store is on Main Street, USA. I didn't want anyone like, it is not in the castle. That is Cinderella's round table.
Shame on her.
Oh my.
How dare she? All right. The other thing that I thought would be really cool, I know that we talked a little bit about this last episode, but, you know, back in the 90s, they released so many different Sailor Moon video games. I mean, every major platform had a Sailor Moon game. You had Super Famicom, you had Game Boy, you had Sega Genesis or Mega Drive, you had Game Gear, PC Engine, 3DO, like PlayStation, and then you also had Sega Saturn. So literally, they were just turning out games right and left. And we haven't really had a great Sailor Moon game in this generation. I mean, they did Sailor Moon Drops, but
Hey.
Rest in
yeah,
peace.
Sailor Moon Drops was great, but they canceled it. I mean, they took down the servers after they hit that 5th season. It was over and done, and that was iPhone and Android only. I'm talking about a console game. So what do you guys think?
Oh my god. Yes, we need one, and I want it for the PlayStation.
I want it for the Switch.
Switch.
And then I want a limited edition Switch.
But
Oh no.
yes. I will say, if they make any of the console games, I would buy it and the console if I didn't already own the console.
Girl, like you wouldn't rebuy another Switch.
I would totally buy another Switch.
I was just thinking, okay, so another story we've all played Another Story, and we've all talked about how it's a cool game. But what I was thinking, if they ported it and updated the graphics, and obviously there'd be other things they'd have to update because, like, from a storyline perspective, there's just some weird kind of cultural awareness things. Like, the part of it takes place in Nepal, part of it takes place in Canada, part of it takes place in Switzerland. And when you look at the places, you're kind of like, that is not what these places are like at all. So they would definitely have to do some
remember that.
updating. But I
Yes.
think that that'd be really cool if they even just updated or reported Another Story, because it's a great RPG and it's so fun.
And fun fact, all you Moonies and listeners, our logo is based on the logo from the Silver Millennials English font on the game.
Oh, that was so beautiful.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
Well, I have a fun little backstory about that. I got that back like in 97 when there was only one anime store in Texas called, well, at least that's what they boasted, so don't jump down my back if that's not the truth. It was called Planet Anime, and I bought that there, and I remember playing it and loving it, but it was all in Japanese. And I remember I had to call them, and they told me how to break the tabs inside the Super Nintendo, and it was so much fun, but I didn't know how to play it because I didn't speak or read Japanese. So later when I downloaded the ROM, oh my god, it's amazing. So we definitely need a US release of that.
For sure.
All right, so I have a bunch of ideas, which I'm sure we can talk about later on, because this is also a recurring section. But is it okay to talk about things that already exist, but that I think they should work more on?
Yes,
Yes,
please
because
do.
Yeah,
I was
definitely.
complaining about the car accessories. So yeah, go for it.
Yeah, exactly. Because we already have Sailor Moon merchandise produced by Loungefly and Funko. But I just don't think that they've completely juiced all of that Moony goodness. And those huge companies could get a lot out of Sailor Moon. So, for example, I personally don't like Funko Pops. Funko does each character in each with every little tiny variant that the character has. For example, the Harry Potter ones, they'll have the Hogwarts uniform and the Yule Ball and the what's the game called?
Quidditch.
Thank you. And the Quidditch variant. Like, they have every single little variant for every single character.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like they haven't done any of that for Sailor Moon. So, first of all, we need Eternal Sailor Moon, like, for starters. But we also could get a school version. Do we have school version Funko Pop? I don't think we do.
I don't think so.
No.
And we don't have the Starlights. There's characters they can still do.
Yeah.
But Funko also has another line called Rock Candies. And they are also kind of like chibi versions, but they're way cuter than the Pops, in my opinion.
Super
So
cute.
Yes.
I have a couple
Those would
of
sell
them.
like hotcakes.
For sure.
They would.
The good thing about Funko is that none of their stuff is expensive. Everything is very affordable. No?
Unless it becomes a variant or a chase.
True.
Then.
Yeah, true.
Well, it becomes expensive aftermarket, but if you can get it in time, you're good.
Yeah, because aren't they usually even the flocked and the exclusive ones are usually the same retail price? Yeah, it's just they're limited.
Right. If you're on it.
Yeah, I had to line up at Hot Topic at like 5 a.m. for the Dark Phoenix chase. So
Worth it, right?
worth it. But I didn't want to pay the reseller.
Right.
But that's all of the part of the collecting experience, right? Like trying to get these things as soon as they come out. So dreaming here again, I would love to have the collection of rock candies for the Sailor Moon characters. They're just
For sure.
I'm so surprised they haven't either. Like, what's going on with the license? Because they should have been chucking out these Funkos.
They should, because I'm looking at my Black Widow rock candy right now.
Mm-hmm.
She's amazing. I mean, she's beautiful. Whereas you look back and I'm looking at my Ray Pop and she's got these big old black eyes.
Yeah.
And, like staring into your soul. Whereas the rock candy, their
They
face
just have more
is-
personality.
Yes.
yeah.
So much better. Like I know Funko Pops are cheap or inexpensive, and I do have a lot. I try to move my collection with the Pops from human to the animals because it makes more sense with their eyes. So I'm trying not to get as many human Pops, but if they go into the rock candy, and that's something that we've been talking about for a while before this podcast.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah. I mean, that's just some of my ideas. But we'll come back to it. I have a ton of them, so yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you all so much for joining us for episode 4. If you guys want to be a part of the community, please be sure to subscribe. Our podcast is available on all of the major podcast platforms. Just search Silver Millennials and turn on notifications. We're also on YouTube, where we release a deluxe version of all of our episodes. You can listen and watch along and follow our socials to see when we plan to release each new episode, so you can join us for a live chat when our deluxe episode premieres. It's always super fun, and it's like you're right there with us, so please don't miss that next one. We're open to all comments and suggestions, so if you have anything to say, please message us on our Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and one of our team members will get back to you. We are the Silver Millennials, and this is the end of episode 4. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Yay! Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.